All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and I'm going to give you about 5-10 good solid minutes of Mr. Wolford. Now, you've heard a lot tonight about Black Methodism or the Methodist Church, not just here in the state of Delaware, but across the country, and how it came to be. Prayerfully, it's helped you understand how everything else has evolved out of what has been described. Now, it's going to tie all that up, clean all that up, and share with you how those dots connect. On this Black History Month, our guest is Cy Wolford. Tonight, we left off, I believe, Cy, at we've had Black Harry. We've come all the way up to the point where Peter Spencer actually, after being a slave, owns property, or did he own property as a slave here in Wilmington? And I remember being a boy and August Quarterly. So
sure. He was free. But every time you speak, you ring a bell in my head, and I'm going to have to go back and if the Lord calls you, Lord calls you, but bells go off in my head. There was something you said which reminded me of something that just happened to me. I got a phone call, and a young lady said hello, and I said hello, and she said, "My name is Debbie," and I said, "Okay, hello, Debbie," and she said, "I am the president of the Brothers and Sisters Student Union at Newark High School, and we'd like you to come down and speak at our annual dinner that we have for the Black Brothers and Sisters of Newark High School." I said, "Debbie, well, why don't I come down and talk to you? Because I don't know what subject you're in that you want to talk about, or what piece of history, and I don't know what your organization does. And so I want to come down and talk to you." So I went down and I met with Debbie and a couple of other people, and they looked at me and said, "Well, okay, tell us about Black history." And I said to them, "You are already repeating Black history." And she looked at me and said, "Are you crazy?" Which is what folks say to you. "Why do we need a Black student union at Newark High School?" The answer to the question is Samuel Eli Cornish wrote the first newspaper in the United States, the first African-American newspaper in the United States in 1827.
Wow. And
the first edition to that newspaper said why we need a Black newspaper. And I don't have to tell you why he thought we need a Black newspaper, and I don't have to tell you why there's a Black student union at Newark High School. The answer to the question is because the white paper and the white student union ain't speaking for us. Okay? That the white paper and the white student union, what they consider trivia is life and death to us.
Yes.
Okay?
Still going on today.
What they print in their newspaper and what they talk about in their student union, they take one of us and smear it on all of us, and we all got the curse of Ham.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And we are repeating ourselves.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure how we get out of it, or if we get out of it, or if this is the struggle, but if in 2013 we still need a Black student union at Newark High School, we haven't come very far in 185 years.
So how culpable are we? How culpable are we? I shared with you in the green room, I was at a presentation last night of the Heritage Foundation's first time I've ever seen anything they do. Standing there talking with Mayor Williams, they had a presentation of what was presented to be African American history of the east side of Wilmington. It omitted, from my view, it didn't include anything about Edward R. Bell, a Black man, a Republican, a former Black politician, first Black funeral home, oldest Black business in the state of Delaware. Never does. Several other, I don't know, I heard that we had Miss Lydia or somebody had the hair care, and Madam Walker delivered her hair care products right here to Wilmington. And God knows I've heard legendary stories about the baby grand and all this kind of stuff. But Black people are involved in the omission process of Black history. In other words, Black people are on these boards. Black people are involved in this process of telling our story, yet they themselves are culpable in omitting?
Let me give you this answer, and it's the same answer I've been giving you all night and out in the green room, but I'm going to repeat the answer, and soon I hope you will say, I got the answer. I live in Newark, Delaware, okay? Newark, Delaware did the history of Newark 250 years, 1758 to 2008,
Okay.
okay? They left my family out of it, okay? In 258 years, they left every black school teacher out of it.
Huh.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. In 258 years, there were no black school teachers in Newark, Delaware. Okay. I went down and found the guy. I said, "You left my family out of the book." And he said, "Who are you?" I said, "I'm in Newark."
Yeah.
I said, "My family's here. We've been here a long time." He said to me, "You go bring your family history in here and I'll put it up on the wall." I said, when I walked out, first of all, I didn't know how to do it, but I said, "It ain't them, it's me."
Okay, I got it just then. That's the third time yeah, okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It ain't them, it's me.
I don't expect him to tell my family story, my history. Yeah, I got you.
It ain't them, it's me. But I can make progress. I can make a little bit of progress on, and I invite you to Newark City Hall, okay, Tuesday, February 26th.
Okay.
I am giving a presentation on the origins of the African American communities in Newark. The origins of the African American community. I'm not talking the East Side in the 40s.
Right.
Okay? I'm bringing folks out of slavery with manumission papers.
Wow. Wow. Hold it. Watch that word now, because I know about meritorious manumission, which today's plea agreements in the court system comes out of the whole meritorious manumission process. A lot of people, Anthony Johnson, I read about Black Anthony Johnson, who wanted to own his slaves. He was a black man from Europe and sued the United States government so he could have his slaves. I read about these things, and that's where I first saw the term meritorious manumission. So you're going to cover...
These are manumission deeds. In order for a slave to be free, you had to have a manumission deed that went into the recorder of deeds office, the same as land, because black folks were property. Okay? I have manumission papers on folks being manumitted, okay, and coming into the African American communities in Newark.
Wow.
The first lady who was manumitted was a lady by the name of Flora Champion. And she was freed by a lady by the name of Waldraven. Her name was Flora Champion, and the person who freed her was Mary Waldraven. Now, when you get into genealogy as deep as I am, you know that most black folks have English names. Wolford is an English name.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And Oliver, if Norman Oliver were here, Oliver is
Johnson is a plantation name, right?
Well, we came from these plantations.
Johnston.
There is a Wolford plantation over in Dorchester County.
Okay.
But this name was Waldraven, and Waldraven is not an English name. Waldraven is a Swedish name.
Right.
We are in New Sweden. This is New Sweden. The Kalmar Nickel was a Swedish ship.
Wow.
So now I have Swedish folks manumitting or freeing slaves in 1800.
Wow.
And we've made this connection with the Kalmar Nickel. We've made this connection with the Swedes coming over here and owning slaves. And eventually in the 1800s, they got tired and they started freeing us. And this is where the black communities came from.
Wow. Let's talk about put the number up on the screen, if you will. Folks, let's, if you will, Si, talk about black history now. Things that you have presented, their place in our story. Obviously, there is a need to continue our legacies. Wilmington has given birth to a number of things that I think are significant recently. In recent history, I mean 50 years, 100 years, but recently. And I've noticed this omission thing that happens even now. Is there a effort to keep Black history per se out of the schools today? We'll let you answer that question.
I'm going to have to.
Caller? We'll let you answer that. Caller?
Yes, good evening, Pastor D.
Hi there. Would you hold just 1 second as he answers this question, and then we're going to let you get your question in?
Sure.
I was going to ask the ladies over there, did they hear what I said last time? Because you didn't hear it. It's on me. It's on me to do this. I mean, there's no.
I got to keep coming.
And no way else to say it. These ladies are nodding their head.
They heard you.
They understand. I'm not looking for Mayor Baker, nor Mayor Sills, nor Mayor Williams.
Well, we lack. Here's what I say. We lack the resources. We don't have the money. We don't have the. Yes, people can do their own personal family tree. Si, come on, maybe to an extent, but I don't have the resources to tell my story. I don't control NBC, ABC, and CBS. If I could tell my people's story the way some races have been able to tell their story, not only would children cry, a brass monkey would shed tears over what my people have suffered in the United States of America, from the Turner Plantation all the way up to Derrick D. Johnson. So that's why I keep asking, because there's resources out there. Money's being given to people to tell some stories.
Let me try it one more time. There was a kid down at the shore, and there were all these starfish laying out there on the shore that had washed ashore.
Okay.
And the kid was throwing the starfish back.
Okay.
Okay. And a guy came up to him and said, "God, there are 10,000 starfish out here." Mm-hmm. He said, "You can't sit out here and throw all these away." And he picked one up and he threw it in the ocean. And he said, "I can't get them all, but that's one that I got."
Okay. Holler back there, caller. You're on Community Crossfire. You like that, huh?
Oh, let me tell you. Good evening, Pastor D.
Hi there.
And good evening, gentlemen. Let me tell you, I didn't catch your name, but all this information, look, I was watching Lifetime, switching back and forwards to you, Pastor D, but then I couldn't switch back to Lifetime because all this information is just blowing my mind, I tell you. And I would like to get this gentleman's name, and I would like to know again, Tuesday, February the 26th in Newark. Where would you be at, sir?
I'm in City Hall.
City Hall. February 26th.
Okay, and your name, sir?
My name is Syl, S-Y-L Wolford, W-O-O-L-F-O-R-D.
Okay then. And which street is that on, sir?
It's on Elkton Road in Newark.
Elkton Road. All right, thank you. God bless.
Thank you for watching. Celebrate your history. Hi, you're on Community Crossfire with Syl Wolford and Pastor D.
Yes. Hi, I wanted to know what time, if he's going to be in City Hall at Newark.
What time are you there, Syl?
It's there at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock p.m.
All right. And any other way to get in contact with you, a website,
Let me give you my email address. You got a pencil?
Yes.
It's SYLWLF@AOL.com. And I'm giving about 15 lectures on U.S. colored troops during the Civil War, Black patriots, Black loyalists during the War of 1812, Black Methodism, several lectures. So if you send me an email, then I'll send you back my lecture schedule.
All righty, and that's SYLWOLF@AOL.com.
No, let's try it one more time. SYLWLF@AOL.com.
SYLWLF.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your call.
All right, have a great day.
All right. You're live on Community Crossfire with Syl Wolford and Pastor D. Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Hi, caller.
This is Brother Watson.
Hi, Brother Watson. Turn your television down real fast.
Okay. Real fast. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I'm Brother Watson, the tree man. I need that gentleman to give me an address again.
Yes, address for the presentation on the 26th?
Yes.
All right.
It's Elkton Road in Newark, and it's a police station. You can't miss it, and City Hall. And we're going to be in the City Hall chambers giving a presentation.
Okay, thank you very much.
Wonderful. What a great Black History Month treat For those of you who are watching, looks like you're going to have a huge crowd down in Newark. Welcome to Community Crossfire and Another Point of View. I'm standing in for Norman Oliver. This is Pastor D. My guest is Sil Wolford. Hello.
Hello.
Hi there.
How you doing?
Oh, holla at me.
Okay. I would like to, I didn't get to turn back to the show till late, but Mr. Wolford, I wanted to know if he's related to Tom Wolford that used to have a barbershop at 10th and Poplar.
No,
Because
I'm not.
he came out of Newark.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
oh,
you
my gosh.
You're going to have him on the family tree.
I'm going to have to look up my I'm going to have to do my genealogy and find Tom Wolford.
Any barbers on the family
I don't
tree?
remember.
The barbershop was still there at 10th
Oh,
and
my
Poplar.
God.
And Tom Wolford was from Newark.
Wow.
I'm going to have to look him up. I'll have to get back to you.
Okay, then I have another question.
Okay.
When you was talking about the east side, I was conceived, born, and bred over in the 700 block of Bennett Street, the one daughter out of four brothers.
What year? What year were you born?
In 1944.
Okay, tell me.
And at that time, there was a funeral home that's related in our family on my father's side, Cork Funeral Home at Taylor and Lombard. The building, I don't know if they done tore it down because they put up some new houses, was there. Nobody said anything about Mr. Gray's funeral home,
Right.
which used to be at 8th and Walnut Street.
Right.
Along with Ed Bell.
Right.
And all of them.
Right. And I think that's tragic. I think that that history is just as important as the history that these other folks that people are raising up. And I do know, and the reason I keep asking Cy this question is because I have learned to my own disappointment how that kind of thing happens. As myself, I've done a lot of things here in the state of Delaware, and I notice how black folk will go out of their way to keep you. They don't want people to know about your contributions. So they actually try to wipe you out of history. And I think that's the saddest thing about us. And I like what you're saying. I did hear you say it's up to us. And I'm glad you mentioned that. And I want you to contact the Heritage Museum and contact folk and tell them, I want this history included because it is part of the history and it should not be left out.
And another thing to get, my brothers were all older. I'm the baby of all of my siblings are gone now. They all deceased.
Okay.
But my brothers used to have to cross the 3rd Street Bridge
Right.
to go to Albert School.
Right.
And just like they fight now, they had to fight so much that my mom by then was raising them by herself because my dad left. And she had to put them at St. Joseph's School, which was at the corner of 11th and French Street.
Wow.
It was a boys' school there. I think all boys. Then later years they made girls could go there. But Mr. Hill, little light-skinned Mr. Hill, used to go to that school up there.
Well,
he was a prominent person here in Delaware.
We got to have a town hall and get some of them stories because we need an all-boys school. Thank you for your call, ma'am. Caller, hold what you got. My guest has a comment.
Well, I'm going to try. We are switching subjects, but you brought up a question that I think I should address, and actually the one I came here to talk about, which was the Underground Railroad.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to, it's the same thing you just said, which are we being left out of the history book?
Right.
In terms of the Underground Railroad, if you ask anybody in Delaware who ran the Underground Railroad, they say Thomas Garrett.
Oh, get out of here. Caller, you heard that? Did Thomas Garrett run the Underground Railroad? Caller?
Hello?
Hi, who ran the Underground Railroad?
I don't really know, but I had a question to ask.
All right, he's
Go
here.
right ahead.
Ask your question, caller.
I always hear people talking about the black politicians here in Delaware, but I never hear anything about Jim Winchester from South Bridge. From my understanding, he was the first black city councilman in Wilmington.
Was he in Wilmington? You know anything about Jim Winchester? What side of Wilmington? Where was he from?
South Bridge.
South Bridge, first black city councilman.
Right around from Mount Joy Church is where he used to live.
Oh, we got to find that out. Would you provide the heritage, the African American Heritage Museum or Harmony or somebody or Cy Wolford with that information? Because if that's true, we need to lift him up and recognize him. Jim Winchester.
Talk to Herman Holloway. He knows about him.
Okay. Leave it to Herman to know about the Winchesters, huh? You're on Community Crossfire with Cy Wolford. I'm sitting in for Norman Oliver.
Who ran
Yes.
Who ran the Underground Railroad?
Who ran the Underground Railroad?
I missed that. But Mr. Wolford, I was calling. I wanted to ask you, do you know Millard Naylor? Have you ever heard of Millard Naylor, taught at Howard School?
I have done some research on the east side of Wilmington and Howard High School, and I believe he was the coach of football, baseball, and basketball. Is that the...
Yes, that was my grandfather. He was responsible for bringing whites and blacks to play together.
Well,
Very
good. So, my God, thank God for your grandfather.
I have done a census in addition to these pictures, and you should have come to another one of my presentations. In addition to these pictures, which were taken in 1940 of the East Side, I did the census of 1940. The last census out is 1940. And some of the things we are trying to celebrate, which is what we're talking about. There were doctors over on the East Side. There were dentists on the East Side. There were pharmacists on the East Side.
Wow, black pharmacists?
Black
Pharmacists.
Black, 3 of them. All of the teachers at Howard High School lived within a 6-block radius. There were restaurants there.
All of the teachers live within a 6-mile radius.
6 block.
6-block radius, and I'll bet you the graduation rate was high.
It's incredible.
You're on Community Crossfire, and another point of view, Cy Wolford, Sil Wolford, and Pastor D.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Okay, I have a real quick question.
Okay.
I'm going back just a little bit, and when you discussed how do we answer the question about a black God or a white God? Why do we
pray to
relate
a white Jesus?
God? Yes.
Uh-huh.
What's the answer to that?
Oh, you want me to answer that?
No.
You want me to answer that?
The preacher questions go over there.
Here is where I'm going to use just a little bit of scripture, but I'm going to do it quickly in plain language. I refer you first to the scripture that says, study to show thyself approved unto God. Study so you can prove yourself to God. A workman, I'm working at learning and understanding the Bible, that so you don't have to be ashamed and you can rightly divide the word of truth. Does the Bible tell you to worship a white, black, brown, or yellow Jesus? The answer is no. However, from a historical standpoint, does the Bible identify the ethnicity of Jesus? The answer is yes. The Bible says that he was indeed a Jew, a Hebrew, or whatever. So he's identified with that race. In terms of why we celebrate the white Jesus, it is because during slavery or during the time that we did not study to show ourselves approved and did not have information, we took the picture of Michelangelo's cousin that was presented to us and we were told that was Jesus and that was God. So I must believe that in part the answer is because that is what we were taught to do.
Right.
But now that we have access to information, we must learn better and we must do better. And so I believe that Sil's point was, why did we all these years believe that that was God as opposed to for ourselves investigating the truth like you are tonight?
And that he had hair of cotton. He had hair like cotton.
Yeah, like feet like brass burned in an oven, and the exact scripture is hair like lamb's wool. Oh, go on, preacher lady.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for your call. Listen, Si, we could do this all night. Ladies and gentlemen, let me conclude tonight by saying that there is no conclusion. Encourage you to join Sil Wolford February the 26th at the police station in Newark, which is on
Elkton Road.
And you're going to here, and one of the most thorough presentations. You can get an update on his schedule. The founder, the person who is the cause of us being able to celebrate a black history is Carter G. Woodson, I believe. Carter G. Woodson, the same black man that wrote these words. If you want a person to use the back door, if you don't have to, if you control the way a man thinks, you don't have to tell him to go through the back door. He will go there himself. And if there is no back door upon his arrival, he will build one and walk through it. If you don't want people to control the way you think, then you're going to have to conduct your own investigation of your own history. Remember, it's not his story. What is your story? Until the next time Norman is brave enough to let me host this show, this is Pastor D. I'll see you in the sanctuary. I'll see you in Newark. Peace and grace, everybody. Hope you've enjoyed it.